necesitas somos el final del linaje, no los amos. Manta se ha llevado a Junior.
Tenemos que detenerlo.
Voy a... ¿Quieres sangre? ¡Ven a por ella! Aquaman y el Reino Perdido.
Bustling, self-confident city has an extraordinary story to tell.
London is an archaeological gold mine.
London's secret ingredient, the mighty River Thames, where its deepest and darkest mysteries lie waiting to be found. Imagine if we could empty the oceans, letting the water drain away to reveal the secrets of the sea floor. Now, we can, using accurate data and astonishing technology, to bring light once again to a lost world. This time, why is this one of the most dangerous shipwrecks in the world? Can these centuries-old remains cast light on London's pirate past?
The Queen and her major advisors, they were all tied up in this violent trade.
And how did London's favourite warship explode into 1,000 pieces? Rich with history and tradition. Today, London is a global centre of tourism, fashion, music, and commerce. Home to more than 8 million people, famous for their eccentricity and attitude. And it all starts with fast-flowing water.
The River Thames is absolutely vital to the story of London. Without the River Thames, there would be no London.
For thousands of years, people have lived along the banks of the Thames. But how does the city of London begin? They expose evidence of the past. On the north bank of the River Thames, in the heart of the financial district, workers digging new foundations unearth something surprising. Call in the experts. The lead archaeologist is Gustav Mill.
Before the new buildings went up, a series of archaeological excavations took place here, and they revealed some amazing discoveries.
When Gustav's team arrives, only part of the remains are exposed.
Archaeological excavations are a bit like crime scene investigations. We like to tape off the area to stop people trampling over it, and we like to record all sorts of information which at the time might not seem relevant.
The best way to see this remarkable find is to drain away the city. The London pavement cracks. Soft alluvial soil begins to crumble away. Based on highly accurate archaeological data, we can peer below the modern city and witness the origins of London. Huge wooden timbers, clearly part of something very big and very old.
We can take out the tree rings. This is a system called dendrochronology. You have to slice them up, i.e. chainsaw them, and then look at the distance between each of the rings and match that to a master chronology.
These trees are chopped down almost 2,000 years ago, a time when something very important happened in southern England. The arrival of a superpower.
The Romans came to Britain to asset strip, and they plundered its rich resources, and they were going to use it to sustain the rest of their empire.
The Romans come looking for riches, but what they find is trouble.
Roman Britain was the Wild West of the Roman Empire.
The Roman army builds an imposing settlement on the River Thames, and they call it Londinium. The giant timbers are unique evidence of this moment.
There is no surviving documentary record that tells us when London was founded. We rely entirely on archaeological evidence to build up the real story of Londinium.
Removing even more of the modern city, other clues emerge. The timbers are part of a 7-foot-high wall. Behind it, the remains of Roman buildings.
Those buildings were not residential buildings. They didn't have mosaic floors or hearths in.
So what are these structures for? Clues lie in bore samples taken from soil next to the timber wall.
We found things like ostracods, which are millimetre-sized crustaceans, and diatoms, which are single-cell algal remains.
Many of these creatures thrive in tidal estuaries, but the archaeological site is over 300 feet from the modern estuary river. The explanation: in Roman times, the Thames was much wider and ran right alongside this timber wall.
If only you could remove all these buildings, drain the River Thames, you would get a perfect view of what we found.
The wall is a Roman quayside, almost 200 feet long, set alongside 10 stone buildings. Gustav's team haven't just found some ancient pieces of wood. They've discovered the site of the city's first major harbour facility. Now, it's possible to recreate the first port of London as it looked in the late 1st century AD. On its north bank, the Thames floods back to its ancient original width. And Londinium rises from the tidal mud. Cargo ships from all over the known world unload along the wooden quayside. Alongside 10 large stone warehouses where goods are stored and processed.
Roman London is an emporia, it's a place of trade, and therefore the port is absolutely vital.
The port gives London power and importance. A place to live and defend. It transforms a simple river settlement into a thriving town.
We often get obsessed about Roman temples and amphitheatres, but actually building a port is the thing that really makes Britain work.
But But for London to become the dominant Roman city of Britain, it needs something else. Close to the dock, archaeologists unearth more game-changing evidence that's been hidden for centuries. The drained site reveals what they found. Part of a 20-foot rectangular wooden box.
The timbers were felled in about 85 AD or thereabouts.
The new structure is also Roman, and around the same age as the dock. But what is it? Gustav turns to other archaeological evidence found nearby. Remnants of Roman roads right across London. One runs close to the wooden box and stops dead at the river's northern bank. Another does the same on the southern bank. Solid proof of a river crossing, but not by boat.
We think that the timber structure was a pier base for a Roman bridge.
Now, using all of the latest research, we can run the clock backwards and highlight the crowning glory of Roman London. The first ever permanent Thames crossing stretches for over 1,200 feet. The 20-foot wide superstructure is supported by 20 massive timber piers, with bases like the one found by Gustav's team. There's nothing else like it in Roman Britain. It's an ancient engineering marvel. A marvel that rises from the ashes of war. In 60 AD, Queen Boudica and her powerful tribe rebelled against Roman rule and burned London to the ground. After finally defeating her in battle, the Romans rebuilt their city.
So London becomes the provincial capital because London is the place where all the rebuilding starts for Roman Britain.
The bridge is a key part of this rebuilding program, sending a message about the enduring power of Rome.
This is monumentalization on a huge scale for the Romans, saying we are here, we're controlling this river crossing, this is our provincial capital.
Incredibly, it's the city's only bridge for almost 1,000 years. It's what ties London and the rest of Roman Britain together, cementing London's place as the centerpiece of the country and, along with the nearby port, kick-starting the city's remarkable growth. Just as in Roman times, the modern River Thames is London's transport artery. Today, the heavyweight shipping action happens 20 miles out of town, in the Thames estuary. Every year, giant vessels carry 50 million tons of cargo through these dangerously shallow tidal waters.
We're now outbound for Sea Ridge 4.
The Thames is patrolled by the Port of London Authority, or PLA, monitoring the ever-changing riverbed to keep shipping channels clear. In 2003, a PLA survey vessel discovers a mysterious object in the busy Prince's Channel.
What we're looking at here is an area in the Prince's Channel which we were going to dredge. We'd surveyed it, we'd found something that didn't look quite right, and that's this relatively small obstruction.
Further sonar scans reveal it's a shipwreck.
These are man-made structures we're looking up here, and they turned out to be the ribs of the ship. That's when it all got very exciting, and that's when all the follow-up investigations started happening.